How to snowboard. Steep slopes. Step 3. On the slope 2. In this step, you want to learn how to change direction while riding on steep slopes. With the method you have learned in the previous step, your weight is moving toward downhill almost straight while turning. How come this method won't change your board's direction? This is because when you make turns, you are rotating only your body and your board is not tilting as much as it needs to before it gets perpendicular to the hill. If the edging angle is not steep enough, your board won't be able to resist against the driving force of your weight. Thus, you will keep moving to the same direction thanks to the weak resisting power that is created between your board and the snow. If you wait to tilt your board until it gets perpendicular to the direction of the driving force, it will be too late to change your direction. The driving force has no way out in this situation. Your board will just be skidding to the same direction and your speed will decrease too. To avoid this and to change the direction to move, here are the key points for changing the direction while turning on steep slopes. Tilt your board strong enough to resist the driving force. And tilt your board as early as possible. Thankfully, your snowboard has round-shaped edges, so even if you tilt your board before rotating your board to start a turn, you will bend its nose. Therefore, the driving force will shift its direction to move without skidding the board and losing speed. If you want to finish your turns quicker, you should add a rotational movement while turning. But you should tilt your board as early and as strong as possible, and it should be done by the time your board gets perpendicular to the driving force. Now, let's learn how to change direction. The first skill to make things easier is sitting lower or crouching while changing edges. Sitting lower enables you to move your weight from one side to the other side quicker on steep slopes. This method helps you tilt the board earlier in the top half of a turn. It's also easier to keep your balance while inclining your body toward the inside of the next turn thanks to the distance between your head and board. If you are scared to tilt your board when you start turns on steep slopes, try practicing it with the following exercise on the easier slopes. Number 1. Touching the ground with your front hand. Touching your front hand on the ground when starting a turn enables you to rotate and tilt your body in the turning direction, so entering your next turn and drawing a half circle on the snow will be easier. Also, it brings your upper body forward and prevents leaning backward too. To start toe side turns from the heel edge, try touching the ground on your toe side. And to start heel side turns from the toe edge, try touching the ground on your heel side. Don't worry if you can't physically touch the ground. Just try to reach the ground with your front hand. Number 2. Move your front hip onto the downhill edge. When you start a turn, try to move your front hip onto the downhill edge, but keep the back side of your shoulder and hip on the uphill edge. With this method, you don't need to incline your whole body, but move only the front side of your body toward downhill by moving your front hip this time. As a result, you can start turning by tilting the nose of your board. This method is similar to method 1 in step 2, but you can focus more on rotating your front hip rather than your upper body. If you are not comfortable with this movement, try practicing it with shallow-shaped turns on easy slopes. Please remember, you want to tilt your board earlier in the turn arc to change the direction while turning this time, so be sure to check your path after making a few turns. If you are still seeing lots of skidding on your path, check the following: size, width of the skidding part, and the time your board starts changing direction. By seeing the size of the skidding part, you can learn how steep your board could tilt at that point. If you see wider skidding on your path, you need to tilt your board even steeper. By seeing the time when your board starts changing direction, you can learn when you started tilting the board. If your board is changing direction below the middle of the turn, you want to tilt your board even steeper in the top half of a turn. Okay, let's review what you learned in this step. Number 1. Tilt your board steep enough to avoid skidding. Number 2. Tilt your board earlier in the top half of a turn. Number 3. Sit small, crouch, when starting a turn. And number 4. Use your front hand to help tilt your body inside of the turn arc. These methods are to help with your steep riding, so pick what works best for you. Please remember that you can apply all methods, it just depends on the slopes, situation, and so on. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and feel free to leave your comments below. Watch all our tutorials by subscribing to the online training program from our website. Thanks for watching. Snowboard Dojo Wiz, your snowboard coach from Canada.